You're telling me one company has the control to click one button and shut down the whole world? And that company happens to be controlled by who? I don't know, man. I fail to believe a multi-billion-dollar company that's been backed by the biggest organizations in the world that does cybersecurity for the entire globe decided to not test a patch?
You think CrowdStrike is going to get affected where they're not going to be like a lot of companies are going to like pull out of their services? Or do you think they're just going to grow from there and people are just going to forget it ever really happened?
Hunter Biden's laptop, the one that Trump was quote unquote accusing, or they were accusing, I think it was Trump that he was working with the Russians
Russian
during
collusion.
Russian collusion during the 2020 elections, right?
Yeah.
So CrowdStrike apparently was the one who provided the laptop for Hunter Biden. And then the patch that they sent out bricked all the laptops, or every single computer, basically wiping them clean. Wait. So if those of you guys are slow, what we're saying is CrowdStrike provided the laptop for Hunter Biden. That laptop is the one that's been the biggest case in battle between the Biden and the Trump family in this whole entire election, right? Oh, Trump's this whack-ass politician who goes and coerces against the United States. He's actually a terrible president for you. Let's indict him, get him into trouble. Let's put him under jurisdiction and potentially put him in jail, right? That's literally what's been going on. It's throughout this whole thing. Then CrowdStrike's patch comes out. It breaks every single device on literally planet Earth. Okay, because it's a huge company. Which, by the way, if you look at CrowdStrike the past year, they doubled in revenue. They went from $1 billion to $3 billion. Biggest backings to CrowdStrike is BlackRock, Vanguard, which we both know are the biggest Israeli state companies in the world.
Don't they have like their headquarters in Israel?
Yeah, Tel Aviv. Yeah. So CrowdStrike, it's an Israeli company.
Texas.
Well, their headquarters.
No,
but like one
Austin,
of their...
Texas.
No. But they did get funding from.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So anyway, so the conspiracy is that they threw this whole thing just to wipe out the device.
For Hunter or for
I don't know.
For Trump.
I don't know. I don't even know if this is a stretch, by the way. This could be obviously so far from the truth, but
yeah.
But but it's all happened in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Trump gets assassinated. This CrowdStrike thing, the whole world shuts down. Whoa. You're telling me one company has the control to click one button and shut down the whole world?
Yep.
And that company happens to be controlled by who?
Yep.
Okay, that's scary. That's weird. Hold up. Is there an actual thing that's happening here? Or are you just showing us that, hey, we can shut you down if we want to?
Flex.
Are you just flexing, you know? And then Trump almost dies, and then Joe Biden decides to drop out of the race, all within the same 2 weeks, man.
I wonder what's been...
Something is cooking in the back end. And all I can tell you is maybe I can agree that maybe something went wrong. They're executing, and they go, oh, Trump didn't die. Shit. All right, well, let's try something else. Maybe. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know this, and we never will. But, yeah, there is... Because... I don't know, man. I fail to believe a multi-billion-dollar company that's been backed by the biggest organizations in the world that does cybersecurity for the entire globe decided to not test a patch? Are you kidding me? You know how basic that is for any IT specialist? When you update your goddamn computer before you push out the update to the whole world, you want to make sure it functions.
Zero
Bro,
glitches.
they could have literally just tested it on one Windows computer and would have found out the glitch immediately. Like, it's not rocket science, right? And it's like, it's weird, man. It's weird. I don't know. And it's like they push it out, and then the company comes out and says, "Oh, so sorry. You
heard that freaking interview with the CEO?
Stupid.
Oh my god, that guy was sweating, bro.
You know what he said? You know what they came out officially recently? They said that their testing equipment was glitchy. So the equipment that they test the patches for glitched. That was their excuse. Anyway,
a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, well, look, so you can technically say hockey stick growth, a lot of layers of management happening really quickly, not enough training, not enough SOPs in place, human error, right? You could write it off as that. That is possible because of the level of growth that they went through in the past 12 to 24 months.
With the timing of it happening, just doesn't make sense.
There you go. But then the timing of it is so sketchy. Like, whoa, right? But it's also, by the way, it's crazy in the cyberspace. I know this is a side conversation. It's starting to have a lot of companies think about like, yo, like the level of control we're giving to these tech companies because we have to. We have no choice. Like this is kind of crazy, you know? But that's a whole other conversation to have. I just wanted to bring that up because I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I'm like, yo, there is some level of connection here. This is too...
It's too ironic for it not to make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I wonder what's going to happen the next, like, couple months, bro.
This is fun. I'm not gonna lie. This is way like this is way deeper than like the high school drama that politics normally is. So this is kind of fun, dude.
Or maybe it was a flex on the world, and maybe it wasn't a flex on the United States. Maybe the U.S. was just flexing on the world, showing everybody that, hey, while we're picking the president, aligning them up for the one world order, be careful, we can control you. But they shut down airports. Mm-hmm. Like literally, the world stopped.
Yeah.
You know?
That's scary. That's
Crazy.
freaking scary, bro. Now, with that being said, dude, do you think CrowdStrike is gonna get affected where they're not gonna be like a lot of companies are gonna like pull out of their services, or do you think they're just gonna grow from there and people are just gonna forget it ever really happened?
There's a chance of both happening. I think the way they're back, though, I don't think that was enough to kill them. Surprisingly, you'd think that.
They stopped the world for a day.
Well,
but that's
bro,
even that of an event is not big enough.
Look, man, cybersecurity is like getting married. You get married to someone. I'm being serious. You install some sort of security infrastructure, and then you go, okay, this works. Okay, it wasn't really a hack. It was more so like a glitch. It's hard to change. For companies to change their EDR systems, which is endpoint detection, which is what they basically, it's like an antivirus. That's what CrowdStrike does. It's a tough solution to shift, you know? And so it's kind of like you sit there and you go, all right, I have like, imagine like you get married and everything. You're like, I have a partner. She's good. But maybe they have this one thing. It's okay. I can move on. A lot of companies are most likely having to do that decision because it's so challenging to make that shift. But then you got ballsy leaders like Elon Musk who's like, nope. CrowdStrike's out of every single computer of ours immediately, right?
Wow.
Yeah. But that's a big move and it's very costly. So I don't think personally from our own clients, I haven't seen anybody make shifts yet. So they're too like, it's just hard. It's hard to make. But obviously now the conversations are starting to come of like, are we giving too much control to these security guys?
Which we are, because I feel like CrowdStrike, and this is, correct me if I'm wrong at any of this, because this is your expertise, right? CrowdStrike went ahead and built their foundation and built something that's like super challenging for your average person or your average company to replicate, and they really benefited. So that way, everyone or almost everyone's reliant on their service.
So EDR technology is crazy. So when you give access to this tech, it basically controls your entire device.
Are there other EER companies?
Yeah, 100%. There's tons. So CrowdStrike just happens to be the leading figure, one of the leading, right? One of the top 10.
Were they first to do it? Are they like early adapters, or are they just?
They're actually. Remember what he was mentioning
they
earlier.
Just got funded hard.
He said the hockey stick.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah. Telling you, bro, they're
Damn,
back.
that's been 13 years.
It's only been
30.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, we understand. Like,
there's no such thing as a normal entrepreneur starting a company.
You could basically assume that they were only founded for government purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're this connected.
Well, I'll tell you why. So I was explaining to you. So when you install this thing on your computer, you give it admin rights. And not just admin rights, you give it shell power rights. So for those of you coders, you guys know what I'm talking about, which basically means you give it access to the core root of your entire computer, and it speaks its language. So you can tell it, hey, shut this computer off, and okay, yes, sir, it's done. You know, you brick it.
Delete everything.
So, but the reason why I'm telling you is this EDR solution collects something we call logs, which means activity.
Data.
Data. All right? And this data is being processed by AI and machine learning. And in the back end, you have all these engineers that are watching every single move. We do this for security purposes, which is legal, right? And the end user is aware. So when you go to work, don't expect any of your documents to be completely private to you. That's BS. You know, the company's most likely securing and monitoring your your activity. But now that you look at the company itself, it's kind of like Apple. Like, whoa, how much data do you actually have? Because this specific piece of technology is installed on military F-16s, bro. It's installed on the biggest of the most important, like the freaking Pentagon has it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the data they have is insanity, right? And so I don't think they're going anywhere, if that's what you're asking. Yeah. But to bring it connected back to whole politics and stuff like that, the reason why I brought it up is because like I feel like there's a connection there that no one's talking about because it's such a far fetch, but who knows?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I think you laid it in a way to where it's like not far fetched at all.
Yeah, not a lot of people even know. I mean, it's funny because I saw a lot of like, you know, obviously everyone's like, oh, cybersecurity hack, Microsoft, blah, blah. I'm like, nobody actually knows like what's actually happening unless you're like in the industry. But yeah, it was nuts.